Good morning, everyone. My name is Matthew Bradshaw. I'm a pediatric intensivist at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital in Saskatoon. My project is on improving access to pediatric organ donation in the pediatric intensive care unit. So a little bit of context for the project using historical data from Canadian Blood Services, really here to illustrate that hundreds of patients die on waiting lists each year while waiting for organs in Canada, and that Saskatchewan in particular has lots of room for improvement when you look in comparison to the Canadian average. Our local context at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital, PICU, showing deceased donor referral rates over time. The takeaway from this slide is that, as you can see with the 42% median, less than half of eligible donors are referred to the donor program in this snapshot. And it's really reflective that identification and referral of potential donors is discretionary and not standardized in our unit. And so that was fruit for improvement. And our aim statement was that we wanted all the families of all potential pediatric organ donors to have the opportunity to at least consider organ donation at the end of life. So to achieve the goal, we identified factors involved in the donor identification and referral process, and those circled in green were targeted for improvement and our improvement strategy, which I'll outline in the next slide. So we established donor criteria in a simple referral tool. We developed standard process, which I'll illustrate on the next slide, really with a goal to create role clarity and reduce actual or perceived conflicts of interest in really what is a delicate process and dance. We highlighted two critical communication time points, both yellow and red. And without going into too much detail, we thought we had it all nailed down. And then we ran into a few roadblocks. One of the biggest hurdles to implementation of this particular change and the Plan, Do, Study, Act cycles was really culture, and it was a PICU culture dominated by risk aversion. The takeaway is that culture matters. In response to some of this, we've teamed up with ethics and legal to provide feedback, help add robustness to the proposed change, and really to help build trust. We recognize it's going to take time, but it's an important piece and leads me to really what I learned from the project. So the key learnings were really related to two things. The pandemic created an overworked, stressed team with reduced capacity for new projects. At one point, the system failed completely when the donor program staff were redeployed during the pandemic and the donor program had to shut down. The donor program lead went on LOA. Lots of challenges related to the pandemic. And then the last thing is really don't get bogged down by roadblocks. Change is a process. It's not a destination. You can't go at it alone. You need a team. And what I learned is to start small, to build as you go, and to learn from each experience. Thanks.